Hello guys, welcome back. I kind of want to talk to you real quick about something I've noticed, and this isn't something that just started. I think these two groups have existed since the beginning of time. One group says you can't bother with the gods. You either can't know the gods, or the gods aren't personalities, or the gods don't care about us anyways. And if you do want something from the gods, you have to either leave them alone or contact them as remotely as possible. You cannot have a direct relationship with a god. My answer to that, being in the polar opposite camp, is you've never worked with Loki, have you? You cannot treat Loki as an abstract, because sooner or later he will find ways to let you know that yes, he has a personality, yes, he's highly intelligent, and yes, he's going to get into everything until he gets his way. He will do it every single time. And I've seen people write full nonsense about gods like, this is energy, man. And the only reason the energy seems to have free will is because you haven't mastered it. I sense this huge smile like, I can't wait till somebody tries to master me. I just can't wait. Loki. Off-color joke from Loki, of course. And the thing I noticed, and I was trying to tell him when he's being a little more serious, shut up, was that, you can either have things or you can have love, but you can't have both. And I thought, well, that's a little unfair, isn't it? It's as if, you took a very small child and you said, Timmy? Mommy? Timmy? Do you want love or do you want that sandwich? Mommy? And of course, Timmy's hungry, so he eats a sandwich because he has really no idea what you're talking about. And you said, okay, Timmy, you had your sandwich. I don't love you. Mommy! What person in their right mind would do that unless you really epically hate children? What person in their right mind would do that? What person in their right mind would wait for Timmy to get off the bus? Ooh, can't wait. Gonna teach him about life. And Timmy gets off the bus. Mommy! Okay, Timmy? Mommy? Since you have a home, and you have food, and I give you clothes, and I tell you to go to school every day, and I do all this mom stuff. Mommy? You'll have this stuff, but I'm never going to love you. I hate you, Timmy. And the next day you get a call from the child psychologist at the school. What the hell are you saying to your child? Why are you telling the child you hate them? What's happening in your life? Do you need help? Do you need to come in and talk to us? Because we know as adults, you don't tell a child that because they're in a very formative part of their life. We know we all make mistakes and we lose our temper and we say stuff to kids we probably shouldn't. But you would never say because you can have these things, you can't also have love. No, children usually end up getting way too many things because we love them and we just, oh, have this, have this, have this. And it's a strange concept, isn't it? Because it makes a god into the parent that says, well, you can either have this thing you want, or I can love you. I can either be this remote god who gives you all this crap and plays absentee father, or I can come down and be your drinking buddy. You get a choice. And you have to stand there and you have to look. Do I want all my needs provided for, or do I want love? Do I want all my needs provided for, or do I want love? And if you choose all your needs provided for, and you choose to not have love, you can have everything in the world, but you don't have this spiritual experience. And if you choose love, the assumption is you're going to always be dirt poor and struggling, and oh my god, I should have chose all this stuff because I would have been better. I don't care if you love me. And I don't know where that camp came from, the you can't have a personal relationship camp, because we know this doesn't work. If the you have to leave the gods alone camp actually worked, atheists would be the wealthiest people on Earth. They just would be by default because they never bother the gods because they don't believe they exist. They would have everything they ever wanted. They wouldn't even have to think of it. It would just randomly appear. They would create new science categories just to explain why atheists have everything they ever wanted. And we never see that happen. What we do see happen is a lot of atheists end up having a religious experience and they end up loving God, and maybe They don't have as many physical things as they first did, but not because God suddenly made them poor, but because they're pursuing things less and they're pursuing God or their gods more. Loki doesn't automatically make us poor or impoverished. Loving our gods and getting personal attention from them doesn't mean we're all doomed to disaster and living in paper bags and crying, "My life was totally fine before I became religious." That's not how it works. And Loki and I were bouncing it back and forth. Why would anybody have this idea in the first place that you can't have a relationship with a god and prosper? Because you know why? Because it's hard. It is hard, isn't it? You have a personal relationship with Loki. I don't care what kind it is. He don't let you get away with much, does he? He's always telling you what to do. How stupid an idea may be. What the likely outcome of that stupid idea may be. Or he's just standing back and watching you, which is even scarier because you know something's gone wrong and you don't know where it went wrong exactly and you don't know how to turn it around. He's just letting you guess. Isn't that fun? And it becomes complicated because he sort of does become, in a sense, that parent, and you're the little kid walking through Main Street, America, or wherever, and saying, "I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. Daddy, get me that. Daddy, get me that. I want it." And he's not having any of it. What you think you need, or what you think will make you happy, that is not what Loki thinks you need. Loki knows you a lot better than you know you. And whether you like it or not, the things you might want, that society might tell you you want, could be a disaster. The only thing I can agree with, listen to a video by Ellen Watts, and I don't think he's the end-all be-all genius a lot of people think he is to really think about what will happen if you got what you wanted. For example, let's say I wanted a 40-room mansion. For some strange reason, Loki was like, "Okay, you can have what you want." Well, for one thing, I would be homeless in short order because I don't have the money to pay the taxes on a 40-room mansion. Okay, let's say I sold this home and I sold everything I own and I just managed to pay the taxes. How am I going to heat this place? How am I going to pay for electricity and water and all this other stuff? How am I going to clean 40 rooms? How am I going to afford a staff? How am I... You see the problem. What we're usually wishing for is a perfect world where we get everything we desire fulfilled with zero effort. We not only mean that we want that 40-room mansion, I'm just making an example, I don't want one. But we also want a staff, and we want food, and we want the good life, but we want it with zero effort, and we kind of notice the world never works out that way. Or take something smaller. Say we decide, "Oh, I'd like a Lamborghini. If only I had a Lamborghini, the rest of my life could be pretty cruddy and I'd be so happy." First you would be. You'd be happy to have that Lamborghini. "Oh my god, I have a Lamborghini." But then, what if it gets stolen? What if somebody keys your car? What if somebody doesn't put their brakes on and your Lamborghini gets totaled? Can you afford to take it to the shop? Can you afford to get it fixed? Can you afford to put gas in it? Can you afford insurance? We never think about that. What we're really wishing for is a perfect life with zero effort. Like I've often said, I wish there was a McDonald's in town. What I really mean is I wish there was a McDonald's in town that dispensed free food that I never had to pay for, and I could have a constant stream of Big Macs coming through my house, just like on a conveyor belt. That would be great, actually. That's never going to happen. That I am aware of. Loki's backer, you just wait. You just gave me a challenge. You just wait. It's never going to happen. And I think it's a thing. And I think when people see that that's not likely to happen, that's why they say, "Well, I'm going to be distant from the gods because this personal relationship is not giving me what I want." And what we want is usually to live outside of reality. in a world we saw in movies or cartoons or comic books or whatever, of this perfectly effortless life. And there are people that will make plenty of money off of you trying to sell you that dream. And it's usually full of mystical woo. And the first thing they will do is take your gods out of your hands. And that should make you go, well, why does it matter to you what god I have? If they can separate you from your god, if they can separate you from Loki and his protection, or separate you from your Loa or your goddess or whomever, they know they can get you out to where you're vulnerable. And you're feeling scared because you know you've left the safety of the nice cozy fox den. And now you're out in the open, so who do you need? You need them because they're the one talking to you. And then if they tell you for only $500 or $1,000 or $20,000, you can buy this piece of cloth, or you can buy this seat at this seminar, or you can buy this wisdom retreat, everything you ever wanted will come to you. That mansion, that lover, that job, that... But I do agree with Ellen wants to think it through. What happens once you get that mansion? How are you going to pay for all this? What happens when you get that lover? How are you going to be happy when you find out they're not the perfect person you thought they would, and they have free will, and maybe they don't want to do everything you want them to do? And so forth and so on. Once you get that job, how happy are you going to be having to meet the demands of that job? And maybe not having any free time to enjoy anything else but that job. So it's just food for thought, but I think it's really unfair to say to people, you have to put aside a personal relationship with the gods to prosper, because that's pure stupidity. And usually the people saying that either are bitter against the gods because the gods fail them, and our gods can't fail us. We know that as mature adult pagans, there are times the gods drop the ball and you just look at them and go, but you're God. And they kind of won't look at you for a while because they're highly embarrassed. And there are times that it was clearly a time for humans to step up, and no humans did, and it's really not on the gods. But to say that all the bad stuff that happens in your life happens because you have a relationship with Loki, or you have a relationship with another god, that's just stupidity. Because these things are going to happen whether you have that relationship or not. I don't know if I said it this recording, but if that were true, atheists would be the most wealthy people on the planet. They would have everything they want. They wouldn't even have to think about it. Children too young to understand the concept of God would have everything they want, and so forth and so on. Just use common sense. And you have to ask yourself that even if it were possible to have everything you want, or have the gods, and have love from the gods, and have a relationship with the gods, you have to ask yourself if the things are more important, because you truly can't take it with you. You can't come back from the dead, or wherever we're going to go, and say, yeah, I want this, 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 this. Just FedEx it over. I want this stuff. You can't do that. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.